Welcome, Field of Jokes, where comedians break down sports movies and we give you our uncensored hot takes. And this is exciting. I'm very excited about this episode because we're doing Hoosiers. But an old friend of mine, Brack, tell us you're in the business. You're the reporter, and we have reporters in this movie.
Yeah, I'm in the podcast game. I do a daily podcast, just reporting on the Arizona Cardinals. So I know a lot about heartbreak. I know a lot about dysfunctional teams and trying to make their way from the bottom up. They just haven't had their cinematic, victory yet. So if you're making a film about the Cardinals, it's probably this season.
There you go. Okay, so that could be. Maybe they could be the small town team, but their coach doesn't have a spotty pass.
Right, he doesn't. He doesn't have a dark pass where he struck a young man and was just unceremoniously thrown from college hoops.
Yeah, that was. I was thinking that happened probably a lot back in those days.
Right. Yeah, Bobby Knight is probably like, what did Norman Dale do? What?
Oh,
that's nothing.
Yeah, Bobby Knight slap kids?
That was what Tuesday looked like for Bobby Knight. And Norman Dale from Hoosiers was a guy that got, he got popped once. His worst day at work, it turned into what he was known for forever until he took over that little small town team
in Hickory, Indiana. That's right. And they, because they didn't trust him because he was from the big city of Ithaca. Yeah. So he was, so they're a little nervous on that. But
voting blue in the big city.
What's the school in that Ithaca? I don't know what school they had there. I just don't know if college.
Is it just Ithaca College?
I think so.
Probably.
I guess they were a powerhouse back in the 40s.
Yeah,
and
ran the four corners. You always had to bet the under on them.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I'd always take the under in these games. You saw the scores were like 50-40 and all that. But I loved it. We found out also in this movie why they call it in basketball the key. I never knew it, and honestly, till then, because the foul lanes were shaped like a key.
Yeah.
Never knew that till now.
The hickory basket and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Now, Hickory Huskers.
The game has changed a little bit.
Oh, yes. Thank God. Because there were a few things.
You don't like that old ball?
No. I have 4 passes before you shoot. That's not going to work for me. No, that's boring as hell. But, no, it's a great movie, and I'm glad you brought it up because I hadn't seen it in years.
Yeah.
And it stars Gene Hackman. That's all you need to say, folks.
In his prime.
Yeah. I mean, you put him in anything, he will seal the deal. He's a man's man. That's what I like about him.
Where does it stand for you as far as Hackman performances?
Oh, this might be his best.
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, French Connection's up there, but this one was like, I hate being that corny guy. It was a little inspiring, I would say. A little bit. It moved me.
Yeah, for white guys like you and I, it's inspiring.
Right? It is.
Guys that look like you and I with like no muscle tone or anything, and like we're unathletic, and you come away, you beat the inner city kids in the big game. Like, this is our movie. It's like we don't have a lot of. Obviously we have a lot of dubs, but like, as far as like in Hollywood, those days are gone. But in the '80s, Norman Dale, he was leading the charge.
Oh, no, in the '50s, technically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That
exactly.
Yeah, we do well with the police, but but what was the school they? We'll give it away. People, you had to have seen the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Who was the school they played in the championship game?
Yeah, I think it was Central South Bend. So the big city where I guess Notre Dame resides.
Yeah,
that's the big school. In the famous saying, they go for the high school championship game, and it's the same size as your gym in Hickory, as far as the 10 feet to the hoop and the court length and all that.
That was a great scene. We'll ruin it for everybody. Yeah, that was the end. It was like, he's trying to calm the kids down. He's playing in an arena, which I don't know. I think Elvis could play that place in 1951. That's a legit venue he played in. I love how they call it a field house.
Right.
Isn't that where the Pacers play too, on a field house, they call it?
Yeah, they do. Like old college teams played in field. Those were nice, right?
Yeah.
Like you pack in there. There's no AC. Sweat.
Oh, yeah.
Some people probably like get dehydrated and die and stuff, but
there you
all
go.
for the good of the team, right? It was fanatical.
No, as long as the players were alive, so I could hit my parlay.
Right, exactly.
I don't care, but
those were the days.
Oh yeah, I had my money on Central South Bend.
Yeah,
I totally would have put it.
That was a tough loss.
Oh, that was because
a tough beat.
What's okay? Number 15 averaged 20 points a game, they said.
Right.
And he almost dunked in the championship game, but he held back.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Now I bet I wish he didn't.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he could have done it. We'll get into why they, as you know, surprise, the team wins the state championship. The heroes win. But I like the tagline for the movie because I watched the old trailer. said Hoosiers. They needed a second chance to finish first. I like that. Only one guy needed a second chance, though. It was Gene Hackman.
And he needed it. When you strike a youth, it's the comeback story that everybody loves.
And he took a long break from coaching. It was 10 years.
Yeah,
to be in the Navy,
and
that was during World War II.
Right.
So I mean, this was he was lucky to be alive. First off,
he was. Yeah. Thank you for your service, Norman Dale.
Norman Dale. You know who did not thank him for his service? We'll get into this. We'll get into the whole thing. The barbershop people. They those guys are assholes. There's the whole thing. This movie's full of characters. It opens up, which the opening, I'm getting chills from the opening scene. It's fall, middle America, small town America in Indiana. You see the fall leaves.
It's everything Jason Aldean sings about.
Yes, exactly. It is a Jason Aldean song, yes. And but what I loved, he's drinking the coffee in the car. But every hoop, when people are playing basketball outside, you don't see that anymore.
Right.
They had hoops on the barns and no court or anything. There's playing on where I don't know,
just the
other
dirt.
than the city. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just the dirt.
Yeah, it was nostalgic. I like that.
Right.
I was like, I miss seeing kids in driveways shooting hoops.
Yeah. Now it's not safe.
No.
Right.
You'll
So
get kidnapped.
you get out there and you're just working on your hook shot. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're getting traffic. That's not good. But
Yeah.
back in old school Hickory, Indiana, or it makes me think of Larry Bird. Obviously,
Yes.
the legends of the game, and a guy that's how you envision him practicing and becoming the Hall of Famer that he was.
Yeah, I remember reading those little books. You get Scholastic Book Fair, you get these NBA player books, and they have a picture of Larry Bird's hometown court or something,
Right.
and it would look like that. It would look like Hickory, Indiana.
Yeah.
I think he would have been. I think Jimmy Chitwood. Let's just say. Well, that's another thing. We'll get into. I think he could have been the next Larry Bird. I will say, the earliest Larry Bird.
I'd love to know, and we'll get into it for sure. Where old Jimmy Chitwood ended up.
Oh yeah, he's a big part of it. He's my hero. But like I said, I love how the movie starts off. He's driving in this small town. You don't know why he's getting there, and he pulls up to this old high school, and you find out he's there because he got a job to coach the Hickory Huskers. Hickory Huskers.
Sorry, I almost called them the Hoosiers.
Hoosiers, yes. Oh yeah, that's another thing I learned. Little fun fact: Hoosiers. What the hell's a Hoosier? I looked it up. It's an Indian word for corn.
Okay.
Hooza, Hosa, Hooza, and then some dumb redneck goes Hoosier, and then so it's Hoosiers. So that's it's corn.
Oh, great! It's appropriated.
Yeah, it's appropriate. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, the white people love it. It's I ain't saying Hooza, and that's why it's corn. But I love the opening scene because he gets to the school, and that's when he runs into.
There she is.
Oh, Barbara Hershey.
Little snack that she is, Barbara Hershey.
I like the
Is
snack.
it Myra?
I think Miss Myra. Was that her first name or last name?
I think it was her first name.
And she's cold.
Yeah.
She is
the Ice Queen. That's.
Oh.
I mean, stereotypical '80s movie, right? Yep. You gotta earn your kind of the love.
Yep.
And it's a long way, but it's a journey. I loved every step of it.
Yeah, I like the journey, and I tell you, my man Gene Hackman, Coach Dale, he played the long game, trying to get laid, and I respect him for that. He was patient. He didn't jump on right away.
I mean, this guy, 10 years in the Navy, probably. Ooh. I mean, he could have just. Right out of there, right out of his service. I mean, to play the long game. That's a vet move.
It's a vet move, and it's an older man showing maturity. I think because he was in his 50s. I think she said
right
because he goes into school and she sees him. She goes, he goes, yeah, where's the principal? And then she goes, tells him, what are you doing here, kind of thing. And she's holding her books, being bitchy,
Right.
And I'm here to coach the basketball team. She hates basketball players.
Right.
That's the thing. She seems to hate sports and is pro academics. And she's a caretaker for our man, Chitwood.
Yeah.
And he's not allowed to play basketball. Best player in the county. Best player in the state, pretty much, according to people.
His ticket out of town, it's not hoops.
Yeah.
It's the books. It's knowledge. That's going to be his ticket out of town.
And as you can tell from when he speaks, that doesn't seem like the books are his thing. She's like, he's the best, but he's not playing.
Right.
He can't play. He needs to focus on his school.
Yep. Got to be 100% focused. I'm sure the school, as far as the educational system there in small town Hickory, is too daunting. Too daunting for Jimmy Chitwood to do both. He couldn't handle both of those.
Well, he's got to do the hoeing after school. He's got to work the field. I mean, he's a farm boy. And she's just like, I know his parents are dead. Let him have something he enjoys, lady.
No, just put your head down, Jimmy. The only way out of here, I mean, if you lose focus for 1 second, you're going to be here forever.
Yeah.
That's what you want to tell the youth.
Yeah, that's what she does. Well, it's the thing. It's like, you want to live here? You see, look at us. We're fucking miserable out here. It's horrible. And she's like, no, yeah, get the books, Jimmy. And I mean, we didn't see her talk to her like that, but she made it very clear to Coach Dale that, he is not playing. Make it clear. And I don't like basketball players.
Right.
I'm sick of this town treating you like gods.
Where do you think that came from?
Okay, there's later in the movie, she says something. Her brother played on the team.
Okay.
And she didn't like.
I think there's more to it than that.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into that, actually.
Yeah.
It's a very good idea. I think maybe there was some heartbreak.
Yeah.
Okay, I suspect they didn't say this in the movie, but I think I have the great idea.
A former Husker or something.
Yeah, I think because she's born and raised there, went to school there, and comes back, and she hates basketball. There might have been a player.
Yeah.
Broke her heart.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think there was something there, and there's some grudge that she will not let go.
Miss Fleener is not. She's not just going to drop it for, some big town hotshot former college hoops coach.
Yeah. Coming in here from Ithaca,
Yeah.
with your cock out. It's like, no. You come here in Ithaca, the big city.
Right.
Have you been to Ithaca? I have.
I haven't.
It's not a big city.
Not a booming metropolis?
No. And that's how small Hickory is, that they think it is.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I like that term, a snack. She did look very delicious.
Yeah. She was a Hickory 9.5.
Oh, yeah. I think she'd be in Indianapolis 9.5.
Yeah, that's probably. I think that's fair.
Yeah. She's, because I've had always a little crush on her because of, I told you before the show, we're talking about Falling Down. Great movie. She was the ex-wife in it.
It's the Geof Piccarreta story.
Oh, yes. Like I said, it's going to happen. Like I told you, give me a year. I'm going to snap. It will happen. But, she was like, she was like the, but you could tell Coach Dale kind of liked her back too because, hey, how could you not? I mean,
right.
And he's like, okay, he's being cool. All right. Oh, and this is the other thing.
Savvy.
He's telling her, okay, well, I'm here to coach. But I'm also going to teach, was it government and civics?
Yeah, it was civics.
Yeah, and she's like, have you ever taught before? And he gives a little nervous laugh like, this is a bullshit job.
Right.
Because you went to high school. Oh, yeah, well, I'm saying. But
yeah, well, you didn't vet me. I dropped out.
I checked you out like, what's her name in the library?
I played hoops, and I didn't focus on my studies like Miss Fleener wanted me to. And, next thing you know, I'm getting that GED.
Exactly. See, Jimmy, she's,
and I'm stuck in that small town.
Oh God, I would blow my brains out in that town. There is it's horrible. She's like, well, you went like in high school. He was going to teach government, civics, whatever. Right. And you remember he went in high school where the teachers who were coaches did not give a shit.
Right.
It was obviously
they were all PE teachers for the most part. And if they were
driver's ed.
Yeah, if they weren't. And of course, for whatever reason, they entrusted those people to do the sexual education as well. Yeah, and that's why we have a lot of people that had children when they were in high school.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I remember Coach Perdomo from my youth.
Okay,
he's the one who did the sex ed class. And funny little story here. He was one of the kids because he says, what if it's the woman? Kind of hurts at first, I remember that. And then one of the kids goes, how's it feel for the man? He goes, actually feels pretty good.
Oh, God.
I swear.
Perdomo going from personal experience, huh?
Oh, this guy, he was banging. He was like a silver fox looking kind of dude.
Perdomo fucks, confirmed.
Oh, he did. But the whole class was laughing. It was just boys. Oh, it feels pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was, never forgot it. And because of that, I had to be successful. I wasn't. But he inspired me that I should pursue the vagina.
Yeah.
But Gene Hackman, Coach Dale, he's teaching history, civics, jerk-off job. And the principal, his name's Cletus.
Yeah.
That's all you need right there.
I mean, they didn't think very hard as far as, who's going to be the principal of Hickory High. And they're like, Cletus just seems like it fits, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as his corn's selling. Because he lived on a farm. He had so it's everybody's a farmer and a teacher or a barber.
Yeah.
But he goes into town and he thanks Cletus, the principal, for giving him a second chance because he's been gone for 10 years serving our country, USA. And it's because he got kicked out. We get into that later. We find out how I keep forgetting. I keep wanting to call her Barbara Hershey.
Yeah, that's which is fine.
What's her name?
Fleener.
Fleener.
Yeah.
I did see the movie. I'm just stupid. But he gets the coach of the team. And the whole town's excited because high school basketball is their life.
Yeah. And they've had some down years, right?
Yeah.
And the coach died.
Yeah.
The previous coach died. Did we ever find out how he...
No. I'm sure it's suicide because there's like, I got to get out of this town and I'm not. I'm not going to count Central Source. Coach Central
Cletus breathing down my neck. I gotta come up with a civics lessons plan. I got Ms. Fleener here that's giving me shit about Jimmy Chitwood. He's my best shooter. What am I supposed to do here? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you can't not win without Chitwood, and this is the thing. She's not letting him play, and I mean, he's the star, and she won't let him play.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd quit too. And you know, there's only either you kill yourself or naturally die in that town. There's no way out.
Right.
And yeah, they don't get into why he dies or why Jimmy Chitwood's parents died.
It's
either.
probably too damn dark. It's probably like that's they. You know, you already have a relatively dark backstory for your hero, right? Your good man, but with a dark past in Gene Hackman. So they couldn't bog us down with that.
Right. It's a PG movie, and if it was I want some details. I want some graphic details. But yeah, he goes and coaches the team, and that's like this is one of my favorite parts. The whole town, the elders of the town, all the men, they want to introduce themselves because Coach is an outsider from the big city of Ithaca, and so they have a meeting at the barbershop and just says hi to him, have coffee, like, "Hey, Coach, we just wanted to say hi and tell you how we do things around here." Like they're like the boosters, like of a college program. Like, we're gonna tell you how things are done around here.
Yeah, and he's got his own ways, right?
Yeah,
And he just throws them out there, and that was it. That's all they had to hear, and they were done with Coach Dale.
Yeah,
and it was you wish that they had maybe a little bit more open mind, right?
Yeah.
But it's small town Hickory. That's how Hollywood's just like, that's what they're going to be closed minded to him.
Oh yes,
and they want his ass out of there. We're not going to take your big city ideas on how this basketball team is going to be run, sir.
Yeah, like you're coming in here like you're Red Auerbach. No, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
Well, what they say to him, or John Wooden, I'm trying to think of a coach from the 50s. But yeah, when they come in there, it's the sheriff is there. Everybody there. Are you going to run a zone defense or man to man and teach them Christian values? And I was like, what the hell?
Then Hackman, he just he's as uninterested as you could possibly be. He's trying to be polite.
He was very polite,
but also he's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
with this.
He established that I'm the leader. And he goes, "Gentlemen, thank you for your time."
You ever seen Ithaca play ball before, folks?
Oh, they won a national championship.
Big deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Before I pushed that kid in the face with my fist.
Yeah. Well, the kid was probably an asshole. I mean, I don't think he was playing under the logo.
Yeah.
But no. But before that, when they're in I love that. I just love that barbershop scene. There was I'm blanking now, which I do on the show. If you guys know, occasionally, obviously I have concussions. Oh no, they're asking him. Okay. They ask him, well, you haven't coached in 10 years. What have you been doing? And he goes, I was in the Navy. And you think they'd be like, they go, well, I don't want a coach who just got off a boat the last 10 years. That's like, I thought you guys loved the
I think that's
troops.
a great point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't possibly have retained any hoop knowledge while being on a boat. You can't keep up with the fast pace of Indiana small school basketball while you're in the Navy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's there. He read the paper, read the sports page. The Hoosiers had a good year, and he probably read about it. And I'm sure he had some free time.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like, I thought you guys loved the troops and all that. Like, they did not thank him for his service.
No, you can't. There's no way you're working and refining your pick and roll play calls or anything like that if you're in the Navy.
Yeah.
Swabbing the deck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sure there was probably or recreational basketball. Yeah. Yeah, I think they were being very, and he just got out of the war. I mean, that was World War II.
Yeah.
Man, they showed a lot of lack of respect there.
They did.
In Hickory.
They did.
And they're worried about zone or whatever. It's like, no, I got it. But he was very polite. I like that.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. He took the high road.
He did.
Because he's a good man.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Scattered past. Good man.
I like that. No, it's a very good point because we make mistakes.
Right.
And he made one, and he's redeeming himself. Yeah, like you said, you're being judged for one time. You fucked up.
He socked one kid in the face.
Yeah, and he probably deserved it.
Probably could have been a minor. It might have been a 17-year-old, and he gave him the old 1-2.
But keep in mind, those kids are like 6'5", so it's like, it's not like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He
said run a suicide, and he said I don't think so. So he gave him the old a little haymaker to the jaw.
There you go. Which is like we talked about Bobby Knight. I remember one time he's from Indiana.
Right.
He slapped a kid on the sideline a few times. I remember that, and it was just like they're a little harder than love taps.
A couple wake up calls. Sure.
Yeah, I'm fucking talking to you. Yeah, and something like that, and throwing chairs. So I mean, this is nothing.
Right.
And this is what movie takes place also in 1951. Mm-hmm. So he goes, he coaches the town, lets them know they're not having this. Mm-hmm. But this is where we get our introduction to Jimmy Chitwood too. He's taking a tour of the school.
He's just knocked down.
Yeah, he sees him in the gym with jeans.
Yeah, I mean, very, very you don't get to see a lot of guys in Levi's not with a jump shot like that.
Oh yeah,
those days are done.
It's like a guy who goes to an actual gym and works out in jeans. Like there's a purpose. Like this is old.
It's
school.
a little off.
It's off.
Yeah,
but
it's off. But the guy's he's either on the spectrum
Yep.
or like he's special or he's
Yeah,
really like
special.
just a special athlete.
Oh, I thought special like the other way, like special
Or
like he has
that,
his
yeah.
own Olympics.
Yeah, it's either or, right?
Even those guys wear the fucking shorts. But yeah, it's like, but it was like there's just something there, and he's got his Chuck Taylors. He's hitting. He doesn't talk.
Right.
Coach says hi, nothing.
Right.
But then they get together for practice, and this is the first practice. This is one of my favorite ones. It's like a short team. Like, was it 7 players, 8?
I think even like less than that. I think they were about 6, right, without Jimmy.
Yeah, well, before he kicks one of the kids off
Yeah.
the team, because he's whipping his cock out to start the,
Yep.
first practice.
So take a look at that.
Oh
This
yeah,
is Ithaca College. This is college coaching experience. Take a look at it and recognize that you're listening to me. I say you jump, you say how high.
exactly.
Yep.
Don't talk during my practice, because one of the kids, those guys, like he calls them in for a group, and then one of the kids is like joking around and talking while he's trying to give an opening speech.
Yeah.
He goes, unless you keep your attitude, unless you show some respect, keep your mouth shut, get the fuck out of here. Well, I'm mad at that.
Is it Joe Pesci?
Yeah, that's it. He was up for the role
Yeah,
too.
you recast it.
Yeah, it would be totally different. Get the fuck out of my gym, you fucking cocksucker. And I'm not very good at improv.
Normalito.
Or your Mama Luke, or call him a Fanuc or something. And he kicks the kid out.
Yeah.
And there's something I skipped over. One of my favorite people we were talking about before the movie, which you had the name, I should.
Dennis Hopper.
Not Dennis Hopper, the other one who was in Major League.
The guy who played Ed Harris.
Ed Harris at Major League, who I love. He was the transition coach.
Yeah.
And he was running practice before. We skipped over this part, which this is another way where Coach Dale inserts his dominance before everything.
Alpha Dale.
Damn right, because you have to be. You gotta whip these horses into shape. You're in charge now. He was running practice. They started practice early without him knowing, and he was running the practice and goes, "Yeah, I want to slowly transition these kids, not the women, but I want to transition these kids. Make the transition easier for them. So we'll take it slow." And he goes, "No, I run practice my way."
Yeah. Listen, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for coming in and taking care of these kids, the adults here at Harris.
Exactly.
Why don't you go in and look at starting, the big game for the Cleveland Indians while Rick Vaughn comes in relief.
Yep, damn right.
Why don't you think about that?
Jesus Christ, can't hit a curveball. I mean, every time I see that guy, what was his name? His actor's name again?
It was like Chelsea something.
Yeah, I love him because he always plays a dick.
Right.
And he's great at it.
He is. I mean, talk about like character actors,
Yeah.
role players, and I wonder if he ever got tired of it. He's like, hey, can I ever be not a piece of shit?
Yeah. It's like, I have a range. Can I play a gay guy dying of AIDS and I inspire children or something? Like, no, you're me a dickhead. You're the dickhead coach in Rudy.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? I feel you. I can empathize with that, but your face just tells me you're a piece of shit. That's what we got. That's what we need cast here.
He does, because casting's a lot about the look, and he has that look of like a guy who just would talk
a
down
hard
to you.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here we go again.
Just somebody very hateable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still likable in a way because he's so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he's great. I was looking at IMDb. I mean, he's worked. I mean, he's had probably 3 decades of work.
Yeah.
So I mean, this guy. I mean, and he was classic.
I mean, as far as sports movies,
he's in a lot of them.
I mean, yeah, he's in Rudy, he's in Major League, and he's in Hoosiers. I mean,
In Trouble with a Curve, I think he's.
Let's stick with the first.
Yeah. Nothing to be proud of, but it's work.
Is that the Clint Eastwood,
That
like
Clint
Justin
Eastwood one,
Timberlake? Yeah, the money grab.
Oh yeah.
I would say, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a guy with a better sports movie resume than that.
Yeah, I mean, other than Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
But he got the lead roles, but
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
I mean, one of the great lines is like when he takes the shot in Major League.
Yeah.
What does he say? Up your butt,
Oh,
Joe
oh
Boo?
yeah, up your butt, Joe
I
Boo.
mean, nailed it.
Oh yeah, everybody. I'm sure everybody watches this. All 2 of you knows that scene. We know Joe Boo and his reaction, and up your butt, Joe Boo, when he takes the shot. I know it's one of the classic scenes, but him being in this movie and playing a dick,
Nailed it.
Yep, and he did not take well his character being kicked out of practice.
No.
Like, you're not hired as the coach for a reason.
I mean, the barbershop scene happened, right? And you know, I think they weren't happy with it. But then once he went in there and he was already like throwing it down and saying this, it's my way or the highway. Yeah. Even though you've been here, working with these kids, that was the last straw. They were already over it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They weren't patient. And he said they went 15-10, and I don't think they had Jimmy Chitwood either.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to write home about. You're barely over 500.
Right.
But yeah, he takes over the practice, kicks out a kid for talking, and then one of his friends joins him. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So two guys quit at the same time, but he was showing his dominant Alpha Dale. I like that. Oh, that should be. Oh, they should have made merch for that show. For the movie,
Alpha Dales. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, and he runs practice, and they just want to scrimmage. Like, no, we're doing ball handling drills, defensive slides, suicides.
Yeah. That's the old staple. When I think of like high school hoops, I think of suicides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were no joke. Those were gassers, and I think anybody who ever like dabbled in recreational sports, those would stand out to you.
Oh, and I remember I was like the short kid. There was a short kid on the team who was pretty much a practice player. I was kind of like that kid in freshman and JV basketball.
The kid that was underhanded free throws?
Yeah. What's his name? Like Rick Barry?
Yeah,
he's doing the Rick Barry ones. Yeah, that kid, he said he's not really on the team. He's just a practice player.
Yeah, what was his name? Ollie? Was that Ollie, or was that a different kid?
That sounds like, he looks like an Ollie.
Yeah, he does.
He did. He looked like an Ollie.
Yeah.
But I mean, and those guys, they need to run suicides in practice because, I mean, you have a 6-man rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be in shape.
You got to be able to play, what is it, like 40 minutes at the high school level?
Yeah, I think, didn't they do it's like two 20-minute halves or something? Yeah. Yeah, that was great there. And then, so you're short a kid, but then the next practice, this is what I love. One of the kids that quit, he comes in with his old man.
There he comes with his tail between his legs.
Yeah. Well, this is good because the whole townspeople wanted to watch practice. First, I forgot to bring that up. And that was like annoying. The sheriff's there. Like, we just want to see how you do things. And they're like, this is a closed practice. But then the dad comes in with the kid who quit.
Right.
And he goes, talk to my son. He wants to tell you something.
Yep.
And you know that man gave that kid a whooping.
It's parenting goals right there.
Yeah, that's old school parenting. Country parenting. You saw the size of that guy? He was like 6'10".
Yeah.
The dad, he goes, my son wants something to say something to you.
Yeah, look, if he was the head coach of Ithaca, he's getting suspended big time for whatever
he would not have coached Ithaca.
Whip that kid back in shape. No doubt about it. No, but, there's your first buy-in.
Yeah.
And who's winning them over? Coach Alpha Dale. And the guy, the dad, believed in Alpha Dale. Yeah.
He was telling guys, listen, coach wants this closed practice. Even though he probably whipped his kid a good one with the switch and stuff in the face.
Yeah, and he's like, and he's probably thinking, we got to close things up so he can do that old Ithaca basketball routine where he's going to get these guys in shape.
Yep.
And we don't need to see it because what we don't know is better for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't see how the sausage is made. And but I love the dad. He was cool. He became an assistant coach later, which I thought was great. And Coach Dale, if you want,
not exactly the most impressive coaching staff put together.
No. Well, the one guy, one of the coaches I love. Yeah, the coaching staff. At least he bought in. I guess that's the thing. At least he was on his side, and he had a suit probably from a funeral or church. But our I think we both agreed our favorite character. Dennis Hopper, shooter.
Yep.
The town drunk.
Yep.
But he's got a secret power we don't know about.
Yeah.
He knows hoops.
He knows ball.
He shows up to the diner, eating your pie and your coffee, and he shows up drunk. But he's talking basketball, and it's like, this guy knows what he's fucking talking about.
Yeah. I mean, just a basketball fucking savant. He's out there talking ball. And Norman Dale, he knows. I mean, respect knows. Game knows,
recognizes game.
Exactly. And as we butcher, key phrases on this podcast, but I mean, Dennis Hopper and Gene Hackman, just two powerhouse performances. Absolutely.
Their chemistry was great.
It was.
Actors,
It was.
And I just love that first scene you see Dennis Hopper. Obviously, he's got the top hat, like drunk, the dirty clothes, and 5 o'clock shadow. But my favorite thing, he's like, he's telling like the classic story of like, I almost hit the game-winning shot. I got fouled. But he seemed to know like details of the game. There was just something about it. And then, of course, right when he starts talking to Coach Dale about it, he asks the guy for money for booze. And his son, who plays on the team, goes, "Get out of here, Dad."
Yeah.
So there's some drama there.
There is. Yeah. I mean, obviously, former, like probably small town legend, but then things kind of go south, right?
Yeah.
As they seem to always do. And falls on hard luck and turns to the bottle.
Yeah.
And it's a couple, it's next thing you know, it's a couple fifths of wild turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Missing work. And Disappointing your kids.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of wild turkey. He's drinking that shit straight, and they call him Shooter, which is because I assume basketball. But then you go to his house, he has a shotgun that he fires it off if he hears somebody.
I mean, he's just a guy with a drinking problem and likes firearms.
What
could go wrong? And what is obviously instinctually, what does Norman Dale think? Here's a good guy for my coaching staff for my high school basketball team.
Yeah,
drinking problem, firearms.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, because he likes discipline. Not all. Well, there's the thing too. When he actually sees him a second time, he comes to his house. I'm blanking why Shooter came to his house. He knocked on his window.
Right.
There was a scene, and
he's probably trying to break into it. Let's be honest.
You got money.
He's probably just seeing if it was vacant or if it was it was an empty house, and he was trying to get in there and get whatever he could find.
Yeah, there's some turkey in there. Coach Dale should have had the shotgun. But But he comes in there and he sees the team picture of Ithaca and he goes, "Oh, that was a great team." He knew everything about it. He had a scouting report for the school they were playing. Yeah. And he goes, "I know everything about the greatest game ever invented." And I was like, I like this guy. I just love Dennis Hopper.
Right.
And him playing a guy with a substance abuse problem is perfect.
Yeah.
And he comes in drunk, and then finally, eventually, he's like, "Hey, why don't you just help coach the team? I need your help because everybody in this town's an idiot."
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ball. I need more people on my staff. Sure. You're probably gonna drink too much, you lose your clothes, and get hit for a drunk and disorderly. But let's just ride it out until it happens.
Well, he actually left it. I like how he was strict with him. Like he was tough but fair. He goes, "I want you on the team, but you got to shave. You got to quit the booze."
Yeah.
And he goes,
"It's funny that was it shaved first?"
Oh no, yeah. I think all that was first, and then the final was the booze. Like I know this.
I probably would have led with the booze. I think that's the most important part.
Well, as we saw, that was kind of like a deal breaker in the first. So it's like. Yeah, I hear you. Maybe the booze was the biggest problem because I need you to shave and wear a suit.
Right.
And he goes, "Oh, okay, I got a suit right there." And he's like, and then brought in the booze.
Kind of eased him in.
Yeah.
But that's you know what? That's just the magic of Gene Hackman and Norman Dale is, it's the slow game, right?
Yes.
Just like it is with Miss Fleener. He's not gonna just say, "Hey, I want you to be my gal," or "Hey, you got to stop being a fall down drunk."
Yeah.
Because he's gonna push back.
Oh, exactly. And he kind of did a little bit. He goes, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave," because he was upset about he's going to. Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah. He's like looking at the bottle. That was a great acting by Hopper. He's just rubbing the bottle and he's looking at it. "I'm going to have to ask you to leave."
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the game.
That was like your second or your third marriage ended that way.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there.
Oh, yeah. I've already been there. He's still married. I think he said his wife.
Yeah.
Well, he has his son. I'm like, "You're married?" Because you saw that house. It was like. I looked like Oppenheimer blew it up. It was horrible.
Was it like in the woods?
Yeah, it was in the woods in the country. That's why I had the shotgun, because if you come on his property, a man defends his property.
Yeah, for sure.
And the dogs are barking. And he goes in there and he's offended, kicks Coach Dale out.
Yeah.
But the next game, he shows up, the suit, hair slicked back. He looked like Speed Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
without the hands missing fingers.
Yeah, respectable Hopper about to hijack a bus and tell you to go, give you the ultimatum of going 50 or it blows up. Sure.
Yeah, a domestic terrorist attack.
Yeah, somebody that's well put together like that guy. No, but he thought about it, probably sobered up, right?
Yeah,
as we all do, and say, hey, this guy was trying to give me an opportunity.
Yeah.
And all I got to do is clean myself up a bit.
Yeah, just sit there on the bench, give advice, and you could tell he was shaking. Believe me, I've been without a drink really. I know that shaky feeling.
Yeah,
and you could see him just like tense because he needs it to calm down his probably social anxiety, and he did. But he came there, he showed up. Yeah. That's the main thing.
He did,
and Coach Dale was happy. And of course, Coach Dale. This is what happens a lot too. He's always getting kicked out of the games.
Yeah,
I understand trying to pump up the team a little bit or. Well, basically, he's pissed off so many refs, as we saw throughout the movie. They're throwing technicals.
He's got a target on his back. He's a big town guy, as we established, out of Ithaca.
And know
the big moving metropolis.
That's the big city.
Yeah, he's from the big city, and he's got his big city, ego with him. He's not asking for much.
No.
He just wants it called fair and
call it both ways. He said,
small town Indiana high school refs, they don't know how to deal with that type of attitude or that kind of, they think it's arrogant, and he just wants it fair down the middle.
That's right. I don't care if this guy went to church with your granddaughter's son or something, whatever the fuck. I don't care. And it's like, what's fair is fair. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He was he wasn't being out of control.
Right.
The technicals, he got a little out of control. Maybe he needed calm it down. But yeah, and then Coach Shooter had to. It does not work out. He is very uncomfortable.
No, I mean it was too much too fast.
Yeah. You should not have got kicked out right then and there.
Right. I mean, we're talking less than 24 hours since his last drink.
Yeah. It's probably like a good. Yeah, I would say you're probably right. Less than 24 hours. I love they use the term. You need to dry out.
Right.
You haven't heard that in a while.
Right. He needed like clinical dry out.
Yeah, and he's sitting there, and his son's like, he goes, it's timeout. He goes, hey, Dad, come on, Dad, you got something? And he's you know,
he looked like Cliff Kingsbury on the sideline, just clueless.
Not as handsome.
Yeah, not as handsome. And,
there was that kind of vibe. Yeah, there was. The jawline wasn't the same.
Right.
No Oscars, but there was that. There was a clueless little. That's good. Yeah, there was, and but he had an excuse. He had a cocktail. But and then it shows some of dysfunction. The townsfolk are getting upset.
Sure. I mean, look, the night's darkest before the dawn. Sometimes,
yes.
Normandale did not just take over this, plug and play situation. He had to kind of, just kind of knock it down a little bit and then build it back up. And it wasn't a patient town.
No,
but man, it was a part of the process in Normandale. Gotta trust it.
The long game. When he explained to the teacher, I got to break these guys and build them up.
Right. I mean, entrusting a guy hours from his last, drink who deals with substance abuse, probably not the right move to throw him right in there. But it's.
I would let the other farmer be the coach. I'd be like, can you watch? Can you run the plays?
Right.
Yeah. Well, there was before that. What's it? This is the other thing I want to get into. Well, first the best player in the town, Jimmy Chitwood.
There he is.
He can't play.
Right.
But he seems sometimes he's always shooting hoops. And Coach Dale, this was a great scene.
Yeah.
Where Coach he just pretty much gives a monologue. Chitwood shooting hoops on the gravel or the dirt, and nailing every shot. By the way, and that's like one straight shot.
Yeah,
too,
he looks
on the
like
camera.
Booker in the playoffs.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, he had the form, and then filming wise, it was like a single set shot, no edits, and he was nailing everyone. And of course, Gene Hackman, the great actor, pushing out this monologue flawlessly. Yeah. I was feeling like saying I'd do anything to win. I never knew anybody who would want to win more than me. But basically told him, if you don't want to play, I don't want you.
Right.
And it's not his, like a girl, pretend you don't want her.
Right.
Then they want you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And
you know what it's called? It's putting the ball in his court.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the brilliance of Normandale.
Yeah, see, he knows the psych game.
Yeah.
And teacher Barbara Hershey was watching him, and she does not like that.
No,
she sees him next day in class, like he's not playing.
You're manipulative. Yeah, I see you. You're toxic.
Yeah.
You're a toxic male.
Yeah, toxic male. This is in the 50s. Yeah, she was ahead of her time.
Yeah,
she was a bitch ahead of her time. And then she goes, I see you guys in the town basketball players. You get treated like gods.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's kind of badass.
Yeah. I mean, what else are we going to celebrate?
Yeah, it's like you grow the biggest ear of corn at the county fair. It's like there's not much to be happy about.
I mean, you got Hopper in his house, firing off just what is it? Just dummy rounds. While boozed up. I mean, what should be celebrated here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you just go to church and eat corn and farm. There's really nothing to do. And it's like. Yeah, like we said, there's something there. There was a bitterness. Now, she said her brother played and I guess never happened, and he was a star. And that can't be right. Somebody broke her heart.
Yeah.
And she
ripped it out.
Yep, and she knew he was manipulating. But my man knows the long game. He knows his shit. And eventually, this is the thing. The town wants to hold a meeting to fire the coach.
Yeah. No patience.
None.
No patience for this big town, big shot, basketball coach who, and isn't this where they dropped the hammer as far as his past?
Oh, well, before she's like his neighbor, I guess. She sees him and she goes, this is where we talk about women are good at digging up the past. This movie took place in 1951.
Right.
Nobody knew why he wasn't we didn't find out until this scene why he got kicked out of Ithaca.
Yeah.
The big job. And she sees him and she goes, she pulls out this little paper. She goes, I was at the library and I found this newspaper article.
Yeah, it's the Instagram DMs of 1950s, what she just pulled out.
Yes, that's what it felt like. Yes, that was yes, in the 50s, that was the DMs.
Yeah.
where you get a screenshot. You've been talking to her? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, you could see the look on his face too. It was kids in the past. That's how you got bad news.
Right.
It was the good old days. You didn't think anybody would find out.
Right.
He punched a kid, and kid was probably out of line.
Probably.
Because, I was at the library. I know. I've had many women give me this face. And I was at the library, and I saw an article. This is what happened.
Right.
And there's going to be a town meeting, and they want you gone, and you shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you know what you did.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
Well, she got him.
You were a disgraced basketball coach, weren't you?
Yes, disgraced. There's something, you struck a child.
Yeah, don't you wish that was what you usually got in trouble for?
I was thinking it was college hoops. I'm like, it could have been, I was thinking a recruiting violation. Yeah. I mean, what Rick Pitino did a lot worse, I think. Yeah.
30 seconds at a Italian restaurant.
Yeah, oh God, Patino. And he's got a job again. He's had 8 jobs since.
Didn't he coached at, didn't he coach at Ithaca or something?
I think whoa.
Did he?
I did not, but yeah, it was like a small New York school.
Yeah, I could be, or was it like?
Because he got fired from Louisville, right?
Yeah.
And that's when all this happened. You might be right. And they're like, he took some small job.
Right.
Our producer left, so we can't
Iona. Sorry, it was Iona.
Iona. Well, it's close. And it was in New York, right? It was in
New York. Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of similar. But, Rick Pitino, I don't think Rick Pitino would mesh well in Hickory.
Probably not.
No. He would. It would
those fancy Italian suits.
Yeah.
If you think Norman Dale had a tough time fitting in, Rick Pitino would have an even tougher time.
Oh, imagine Rick Pitino in that barbershop meeting. Coach, we're gonna tell you how things are done here. Let me tell you how fucking things are done here. I'm going Pesci again. Yeah. You motherless fuck.
Larry Bird's not walking through that door.
Jimmy Chitwood's not walking through that door. And but he does.
He does.
This is one of my favorite parts. Okay.
Gives me goosebumps thinking about it. It's one of those scenes. It's an iconic scene. It is. We have a lot of fun on this thing, but
oh yes.
Yep.
Well, the town meeting, everybody's ooh, boo,
Ed Harris is in his bag, man.
Oh yeah.
Like you got all those disgruntled, mad, guys, small town guys. Just they're calling. They got their pitchforks. They got their torches, and they're saying, "Get this guy out of here."
Yeah.
And then who comes to the rescue?
Jimmy Chitwood.
Jimmy fucking Chitwood.
And he makes demands like a star player does.
Yep.
And this guy doesn't talk. He's never talked the whole movie. What's the thing? They visually voted to kick him out. We don't want him to be the coach. But then Jimmy comes walking in and places quiet, heads turn.
Right.
And he goes, I want to play ball again. Crowd goes nuts. Yep. That gives me chills right there. But coach stays, I stay. If he leaves, I leave. And I was like, whoa. And everybody's like looking around like, fuck. That's what a star player does. Yep. You show up in the GM's office.
That's right.
I want that extension or something. Right. I want to be traded.
Right. I want out of Philly. I want out of Brooklyn. He goes full James Harden on him, but like less selfish.
Yeah, a lot less selfish. Yeah, he goes, and he stayed in shape at least. He handled
less strip clubs for Jimmy Chitwood.
Jimmy Oh, no, the good Lord sees that. No. He's not married yet, for God's sakes. No. They would not allow a strip club, a Hickory strip club.
Right.
Jimmy's in the right place. He's a good boy.
Right.
And I like that. He's stern, man. He's cold as ice.
He's a man of few words, so when he speaks, it resonates a little bit. Yep. And of course, I mean, guy with the golden jump shot.
Oh, I mean, God, that I was telling you, I was super impressed. The form.
Yeah. That's
what I'm saying. He was probably like 50s Larry Bird in that day. Just not as loud or not a trash talker like Larry. But I love he says it, and the crowd, the town, they calm down. They know. They do a revote.
Yep.
Yay, nay, blah, blah. But I like when he walks away, the teacher, Barbara Hershey, grabs his hand like, Jimmy. Like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. Hands off.
Yeah.
Miss Fleener.
Miss Fleener.
Daddy's going to work.
Yeah. If you want to touch me, Miss Fleener, we can talk about that later. And Jimmy looks like a grown man.
Yeah. He was 37 when he did this film.
Honestly,
no, I have no idea.
Yeah, but no, they do. Don't these like teenagers in movies?
Yeah.
Back in the day, they always looked older. Those kids looked older too.
They did.
They did.
Yeah.
They did not look like high school kids.
There was not a guy probably on that high school roster that was under 25.
No.
Chest hair.
Oh yeah. And when they're those are what they call country strong, country strong boys. And Jimmy's playing, and he gets I think I forgot what number was it. 15 he wore something or 23 I think. Did he wear
No, he wasn't 23. I think you're right. 15 sounds about right.
Something like that, yeah. And he comes in and he gets shit done.
He does.
I mean, that's the thing. They weren't winning.
He was like Jordan when he came back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I'm back. There's Jimmy Chitwood, right?
Yeah.
And he's next thing you know, we're not missing a beat. It's 3 championships in a row.
Oh yeah.
So
It was kind of like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, without the athleticism and God-given ability, and just
Jimmy had a shot though.
He
tell
did.
you what, I could see him at the. Well, we'll get into that. What we think we're doing after,
Okay.
but Jimmy, I mean, he comes in like that is perfect. I'm back.
Yeah,
and it's instant success.
just makes it rain.
This is why it wasn't winning. They weren't winning. No Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could chalk it up to, all the things, all the different variables, work in progress, but you got to have a star, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
In basketball,
Yeah.
you got to have the star. You can't build like a team of rough ragtag by.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of coaches, scrappy, players. You need some guys with talent. And Jimmy Chitwood he's the balls.
Oh, he's the balls. I mean, this guy does not miss. Double coverage, he's shooting, guys.
Right.
I double teamed and get my sports mixed up. But that shot, I mean, whoever that actor was, that guy, he worked on the shot.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through a lot of 80s, 90s, 2000s sports movies, and you can criticize technique and form.
Yeah,
Chitwood, not one of those guys.
No. Jesus Shuttleworth is the only one I'd give credit to being better shooter. That's it. Other than that, it's Jesus Shuttleworth and Jimmy Chitwood.
One of the greatest shooters in NBA history, and then this actor who played Jimmy
Well, basketball actors. I would put Woody Harrelson in there too, but I mean, I would. Well, we'll get into that later. We'll get into. Yeah, I definitely want to get into what Chitwood's up to. But yeah, he joins the team. They win. Oh, this is another thing I just wanted to talk about in the movie, like old school basketball, which we talked about. You don't see it anymore. They actually play defense and fundamentals.
The 4 passes before a shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
That drove me nuts because when I played in high school, we had an uninspiring offense, and that was the kind of the same thing. Actually, it was 5 passes in our thing.
Yeah.
And it's boring. That first game before Jimmy and everybody's there, they're doing the crowd's going nuts. They're like, "What the hell's going on?" Because it is boring as hell. It's horrible. No shot clock.
Right.
And eventually one of the players takes matters in his own hands because it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, he starts taking. He's the point guard.
Right.
Pulls up, takes jumpers. They're hitting.
Right. He's feeling it.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. And you're thinking, hey, maybe we got a Pippen to Jordan here in Chitwood, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Not so fast.
Nope.
Normandale knows that's detrimental to the team's success.
Yep.
Yep.
And this is what I told you to do, and you're not doing it. Takes him out of the game, and then didn't another player get hurt?
Yeah.
And there's only 4 players. I mean, and he was going to jump back in the game.
Was that when he went through the glass?
Oh, the guy got fouled out. I think there was a kid on the team that always would foul out.
But wasn't there a scene where they get into a brawl?
Yeah. This is before this happened before the brawl.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But somebody like cut their back. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the guy who he bent. That was the guy who he wanted to lift back on the floor. That would happen later. Yeah. There was because there was no pads behind the basket,
right? Just
like bricks.
I mean, everything was just it was a safety hazard back then.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, I mean I remember that. In fact, we were talking about
flying into a stage.
Yeah, flying into a stage. But then he ripped open his back with stitches or something, and then Dale was going to let him play again. Yeah. I'm mixing this up, and then he knew better. Like, okay, can't let this kid play.
So they start to find their rhythm, right?
Yeah.
And they're still trying to go through Normandale's, I say jump, you say how high, instead of this is how I'm going to do it. Like, they're still working out the kinks.
Yeah,
right?
This was the first game. Yeah,
so,
I think.
And then you still have to deal with the small town refs, the big city coach. That doesn't go away.
Nope.
But you got the star power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're still seeing that. Like, you realize it's not perfect.
Right.
And then you get Hackman in there. And he finally comes alive.
Yeah, if he comes alive. But the part I was talking about, I like that.
Yeah.
It was the when the kid was taking the pull-up jumpers after he told him, I said 4 shots or 4 passes, and he takes him out of the game. Another player fouls out, and there's like a 6-man team.
Yeah.
So he takes his warm-ups, go back in the game. Coach
This
says,
guy could have never played for Carmelo Anthony could have never played for Normandale.
No. Normandale would not. He probably would have punched him, and Carmelo would have shot him.
I think that might have been what happened.
Oh, it might have been. Maybe Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Sean Kemp shot somebody. But no, he's kind of established. But that scene where he tries going back in the game, only 4 players on the floor. He goes, They goes, Coach, you need 5 players. He goes, my team's out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a scene. I'm going to put my stick in the ground.
Yep.
And I'm going back and forth. But yeah, that was great. I mean, and then we're talking about.
Then you got the montage, right?
They just
rip it off. Yeah, they just rip off a bunch of wins in a row. Jimmy's wet, right? He's just, I mean, he's hitting everything.
He's in the zone.
Right. And they're passing, I mean, 4 passes each play, right?
Just give it to Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah.
And they look like a bunch of Steve Nash and John Stockton's out there. And then you got Jimmy Chitwood, who's just knocked down jumpy.
All day. All day. And he's a quiet leader.
Yep.
And then what we're going to get into, because we're almost done here, but we get a couple things, but Barbara Hershey and Coach Dale.
Yeah, a little off the court.
The court.
Yeah.
She shows up to every game.
Coach stays winning, doesn't he?
Yeah. He always wins. He's on a streak. And he's a neighbor and sees her hoeing.
Yeah,
as they say, literally, because she's a farmer's girl.
Yeah.
He asked her, he goes, would you like to take a walk into the woods? Which kind of scared me. If you haven't seen the movie, it's like, this is not going to end
Especially
well.
a guy with a scattered past. Probably not the best. But, yeah, it works out.
Yeah, he just got back from the Navy, probably has PTSD. Don't go in the woods with Coach Dale. But he's a gentleman.
Yes.
And they walk, and they're talking. She's opening up a little bit. She's nice, and he makes his move.
He does.
My man makes his move, yeah.
And who doesn't want to see Gene Hackman get physical?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want to see, I want Gene Hackman. I don't want to see Barbara Hershey. I want to see Gene Hackman on top.
Yeah, Gene Hackman, just a bag of skin. Just, like not a whole lot of hair. Just him, just open mouth kiss Barbara Hershey right there.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. Yeah, I want to see a scene he's on your headboard banging. I don't want it romantic. But we get a hint that
Jimmy Chitwood's just in the driveway trying to work on his game.
He's crying. It's like my surrogate mother, and it scars him for life, and then he doesn't talk anymore. But yeah, then they go to Brack because obviously something might have happened.
Something went down.
Do you think he banged her in the woods?
Probably not.
No, I think he took her back to the
Yeah, he's a gentleman.
Yeah, he was. He was polite.
Yeah, he's not some savage out there.
But the next day, he's in press, and they got press now.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I thought they got where this fedoras and the press at, and they're asking, "Hey, coach, are you gonna be at Hickory next year?" And he says, "Oh," he doesn't answer, but Miss Neal, what's her?
Fleener.
Miss Fleener's in the stands.
Oh yeah,
this is something I noticed different after she got some dick. Before the movie, she'd always wear those long skirts, just show her ankle. That was it.
That hussy.
But then she got real hussy.
Oh, yeah?
You notice her skirt just covered the knee.
Okay.
I noticed that because I was like, because I'm creep. And I was like, wow, you got some dicks. You're loosening up.
Yeah.
And then she was laughing. She goes, that's a good question. Like, oh, you're getting flirty. He opened up the floodgates.
Right.
Coach Dale. My man.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you play the long game, it's often rewarded.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he got it out of her. Ooh, good for Coach Dale, but she's one of my favorites. And then, like we said, Jimmy Chitwood's killing it. And then, they make it to the championship game in the big city of Indianapolis.
you got the scenes kind of scattered in there with Dennis Hopper where he finally sobers up a little bit. He's on his game.
Yeah.
Hackman gets thrown out of game like he's Earl Weaver again. He gets tossed. I mean, he's setting a high school record for ejections.
Yeah. It was not.
And Hackman runs the old what do we call it? The picket fence.
Yeah, picket fence, and
don't get caught watching the paint dry, right?
Yeah,
and he runs an unbelievable play. I mean, just drew it up. They ran it to perfection right there.
Yeah,
I mean, realistic as possible, right? You just tell the kids, and they just run it to perfection. That's how it goes.
Oh
usually.
yeah.
But and then I'm sure. And obviously he fell off the wagon again, right?
Oh, that scene. That was and that was actually interesting. I have the little note here. Yeah, it's like he doesn't show up to the game. Like, where the hell the shooter?
What do you got?
A fun fact of how he prepared for that scene.
Did you just get rip-roaring drunk?
Close.
He did a couple nights with Charlie Sheen and Robert Downey Jr.
Well, usually he would hang out with. I could see him hanging out with Nicholson. That's what he used to do. And who's the other guy he's an Easy Rider with? Okay.
Peter Fonda.
Those guys would get coked up and just drink. Oh, trust me, those guys partied. Okay, for that scene, Dennis Hopper, he shows up. He's in the suit, but he is shit-faced.
Okay.
Remember that? And he's like stumbling onto the court. Yeah, blah, blah. And they're like, what the fuck's happened to Shooter? Okay, for that scene, Dennis Hopper, because he's a great actor, he wanted the director to give him a 10-second notice before the scene was called action so he could spin around in a circle and get himself dizzy so he could appear drunk. And it was so he could, because he was stumbling on the floor. And he wanted to get real dizzy.
It's a lot tamer than I expected. I thought you were going to say he did a couple nights.
Well, he's a professional.
Bender. Yeah.
I could see him
with
doing
Hasselhoff
coke in the. Like I could see him and Nicholson and Fonda doing lines in the trailer. But he did that, and he learned how to do that, get dizzy before to look drunk in a scene in a movie with James Dean. James Dean did it in Giant. And director, he asked George Stevens, asked James Dean to spin for 30 seconds to look inebriated in the scene.
Okay.
And he remembered it. I just thought it was interesting. A little old
not
Hollywood
too bad.
trivia.
Not too bad.
They go to, but usually he cleans up, he goes to the hospital, dries out.
Yep.
And this is a scene that gets me emotional. His son visits him in the hospital and tells him, "I love you, Dad."
Yeah.
And back in those days, a man don't say that.
Just tugging on.
Guys don't love guys in this town. But he said it.
Yeah.
And he was proud of his dad.
Yeah, he was.
Big moment. And Coach even said, "I love you guys."
Yeah.
That was emotional, too.
I mean, it's just, bros becoming dudes or dudes becoming bros.
Yeah.
And I think that's the immoral It's just, you just tell your bro you love him. And I think, Norman Dale, I think he bucked a lot of, trends back there in the 80s, the 50s for sure.
Oh, 50s, yeah.
Yeah.
It was I was like, wow. I was like, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. I'm sure it rubbed, I don't know, Ed Harris. I call him Ed Harris from Major League, but he probably didn't love it.
No. What the hell you telling them, boys?
Yeah.
Treat them
These
like
colors don't run, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're acting like a bunch of fairies out there. Yeah, it's small town America.
Right.
They call dinner supper, gays fairies. I'm sure there's but no, it was like, hey, tough guy.
Yeah.
Opened up his but then they play the black kids in the national champion or state championship.
They take them on, and it was the Glory Road. Remember the Glory Road movie that came out? The true story of the basketball team that won the college championship. Is the first all black starting lineup.
Oh, we should next time if you come back on the show. I want you to come back. No,
never coming back.
Oh shit! You got one more.
No, I mean it was the opposite. It was and you've got like the most athletic team in Indiana, and you've got Jimmy Chitwood and squad, just somehow keeping up with them until the final seconds. And then, he makes, his teammates become a bunch of cucks and watch him, take all the glory.
Well, I would too, because I'm telling you, I would not give anybody else the ball except Jimmy Chitwood.
You love it, though. You got to love that scene. As we skip ahead, I mean, you had the iconic scene where he's making everybody at ease and puts it in perspective as far as the size of the court. It's the same.
Right.
Don't let the noise get to you.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go through the ebbs and flows of the game.
Right.
It's like the Toon Squad. They're down early big, and then they have Bugs, special juice, or Michael Jordan special juice, and then they catch fire.
Yeah.
And then Chitwood, they need one play. And you're like, let's use
this.
Jimmy as a decoy. And what do you say?
They all looked to the side. The players looked away, and Jimmy goes, I can make it.
Yeah. He said, fuck that.
Yeah. That's what
he was paraphrasing.
Yeah. The R version.
Yeah.
But Jimmy would not say the F word.
Yeah.
No,
he's
Jimmy,
like, I'm a human bucket, coach. What are you doing? You go to me.
Jimmy would not use words that the Lord would not approve of. And Jimmy, I can make it. There was like a quiet confidence.
I'll make it.
Yeah. Damn right he did. Running down the clock.
Gene Hackman was like, he was like he was in the woods again. He was like rock hard at that point.
Oh yeah, kissing Mrs. Oh yeah, he was.
He's like when he just comes out of nowhere, like we said.
Yeah,
he's a man of few words, but when he speaks, it resonates, and he's just like, "I'll make it," and everybody's like, "Oh, I am." Yeah, I got a full on chub about that. We're winning this fucking thing.
Oh yeah. Just dribble out, kill the clock, and boom, backs up, bang.
And it wasn't like rattle around the rim.
No,
it was just
He's money all the time.
Yeah, he is.
And spoiler alert, they win the state championship, a small school, the 1951-52.
The white guys finally got one.
The white guys won one. Yes, it's the last game the white guys were victorious in basketball history. They played a school, and there's a lot of black guys, and they honestly, in real life, that would not have happened.
No, most unrealistic movie of all time.
No, that would not have. But I'm
just swatting Chitwood shots down the court.
Chitwood's like,
just throwing monstrous dunks, putting their nuts on their shoulder.
Yeah. Joe Chitwood would use the Lord's name in vain. God damn it! Like Jimmy, what the hell? And it would not have been good.
Most lopsided state final of all time. Hickory gets blown out.
Oh, you remember there was a brawl in one game. There would have been another brawl.
Yeah.
Some words have been said.
Yeah.
that
I didn't want to win that game.
It would have gotten ugly.
Yeah.
Somebody would be pulling at your crew cut. It would be horrible. But they won the national championship, and it's a great movie. But the thing is, we don't know what happens after. And this is what I want to get into before we close out the show, because it's one of my favorite things. Okay, we don't know what happened to Coach Dale. Like, did he coach another year? I mean, what do you think happened? Do you think he stuck it out?
I think he did.
Think he did? Yeah.
You know, I think there's more to the story.
Yeah.
Probably has a little darker past than he let on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like they found
Yeah.
what happened at Ithaca, but they don't know the whole story.
Right.
So he's kind of like in his own witness protection anyway. So he
Yeah.
stays there, lies low, probably till he can't help himself. Then he ends up like in Florida or South America. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I think like Sandusky,
Yeah.
something like that bad.
Right.
Sandusky
Oh,
bad.
shit,
And you
yeah.
like where they move priests around to different like priest parishes. Like Coach Dale,
Yeah.
we'll get you over here. Just,
Okay,
just to
so you
keep your
think it's
mouth
that
shut.
bad?
No.
I thought he was like maybe had an affinity for gambling, maybe like the
Oh,
yeah. But
Oh, that good. I just went to a level that was probably inappropriate. It's a PG movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think there was much more.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that's the peak.
Yeah.
You know.
I think so too. I'd be like, if Chit would like graduate or whatever, I'm like, and you know, the next 2
Never
years
got
would
out
suck.
of there, by the way.
No. I was hopeful maybe
I mean,
he could
Chitwood's
recruit.
Dennis Hopper's character in 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's.
Oh.
I mean, he hit the shot, but he's still at the bar. He's still saddled up at the bar, saying, "Hey, I ever tell you
Yeah.
how I beat the Central South Bend?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Why don't you have a seat?"
Yeah.
And I'm gonna knock back a few.
Everybody's in those
Yeah.
plaid, those plaid jackets, just
couple old styles.
yeah, and they're like putting down their John Deere hat, like here
Yeah.
he goes again.
Yeah.
Jimmy, God
Jesus
damn it.
Christ.
Yeah, Jimmy, Jesus. Yeah, I could see that going. That I could see happening. I was hopeful maybe he'd go to UCLA, but no,
Yeah. No.
no, that was not
No.
happening. And the other thing I wanted to ask, which I'm so prepared, guys.
Yeah. You got a notebook?
Yeah, notebook. Yeah, and also I have dyslexia. And Dale, Coach Dale, like we think he left. Jimmy
Yeah.
Chitwood, like I said, I think he probably would got
Not
frustrated.
much more after that. I mean,
No, I mean, like you said, you're there. I was hopeful maybe one went to the.
who else are you invested in enough to where they went?
That's true. Just Jimmy Chitwood
Yeah.
and Coach Dale. I was wondering, Coach Dale maybe settle down and marry Barbara Hershey.
You think?
No, I think he
He
busted.
seems like.
He seems like a wanderer.
He's been independent his entire life.
Yeah.
he's in his 50s.
He's not married for a reason.
There's a lot of broken hearts out there because of Coach Dale.
That's right. He does not open up his heart.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted to get, as we had a former guest on the show say, new pussy. He got the new pussy, and it's like, I'm out of town. All right, thanks for
He got that new.
new. Yeah, you go. What's the other town? Deer Lick. Go to Deer Lick. Get another teacher. Bo, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
man, anytime.
Just I'm not really
Yeah.
awkward. This. Well. Hint, he might be on another episode,
Let's
but
do
yes. But Bo, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Boom. Boom. Oh, man, that was good.